You, Richard Milhouse Nixon, do solemnly swear.
I, Richard Milhouse Nixon, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office
that I will faithfully execute the office
of President of the United States.
Of President of the United States. Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God. The peace we seek to win is not victory over any other people, but the peace that comes with healing in its wings, with compassion for those who have suffered, with understanding for those who have opposed us, with the opportunity for all the peoples of this earth to choose their own destiny.
Now, if you look to the right, you'll notice the next head belongs to Thomas Jefferson, who, and this may come as a surprise to you, was actually born without skin from the neck down. In fact, he spent most of his childhood in and out of hospitals because of his susceptibility to disease, what with the exposed muscle and sinew and whatnot. But in 1772, his good friend Benjamin Franklin fashioned together a crude epidermis out of sheep bladders and carpenter's glue, held together by pewter hooks that Paul Revere forged in his silver shop. Paul Revere, you may have heard, was a smithy, which is one of my favorite words. He was also a eunuch, which was not very popular in the 1700s, though there were a few. I believe Sam Adams was also a eunuch, and Nathan Hale, who I've been told had a wonderful singing voice. So that's probably something you haven't heard on any other tour today. It's interesting, isn't it? For those of you just joining the group, my name is Maggie, and today's my last day here at Mount Rushmore National Park Memorial. There have been some cutbacks at the National Park Services, so I've been let go, which in my opinion is a huge loss to tourists like yourselves who are hungry for history, because I happen to be what we in the industry call a font of knowledge. Oh, by the way, if any of you happen to have a question, feel free to raise your hand and stick it up your ass. It's kind of mood I'm in. I see I'm losing some of you. Well, that's all right. It's more intimate this way, isn't it? And I happen to be very comfortable with intimacy, unlike a certain Victor Collins, my direct supervisor here at the National Park Service, and my former lover. He's the man responsible for my layoff, as well as my monthly herpes outbreak. We're gonna skip Teddy for time. Next we have Abraham Lincoln, our first Jewish president, and the inventor of dirt. He was, of course, our tallest president, standing at 10 feet 2 inches tall. He spoke fluent Mandarin and walked with a peg leg. A thrice convicted arson, Abraham Lincoln grew up in an adobe hut and had x-ray vision. He was one of our greatest presidents. Presidents, and his wife who was mentally unhinged. Speaking of mentally unhinged, let's pretend I'm Victor and you're me. Yeah. Thank you all for coming. On behalf of the President and the entire White House staff, I want to thank you for your patience during this most unusual time. Unusual time, that's what we're calling it. They're not the ones losing their jobs. Frank, how much time do we have before he goes up? 9 minutes? Play tape 12. Do it, Frank!
They're gonna fire me? Because I've been doing a bad job lately and the airline is laying a lot of people off. I'll be unemployed because they caught me drinking on the job one day and I was rude to this one lady. I was just nasty to her. She was an asshole, but you know, she's a customer and you can't be rude to people buying tickets. I wanted to ram my fist into her face, just smash her, but instead I said, shut up. Just shut up. Who the fuck are you? I know how to take this shit from you. And so now they're gonna fire me, and I'm scared. I'm really scared because I don't have any money. I didn't save anything. It's gone. It's gone, and I don't know where it went, but it's gone. So it's fun. Tuesdays. Would that be a window or an aisle seat?
Ford's not going to hire me anyway. I'm not down with this decision. I haven't even been to Watergate. Hello, my fellow Americans. I am Assistant Press Secretary Maggie O'Connor, and in 7 minutes, we will have an address from President Nixon. But until then, it's my last day, so we're gonna boogie like it's 1974. Speaking of tapping phones, I found this nifty tape in the newsroom archives. Close the shades, Frank. Just play it. You can't be any more fired.
The fact is, I could make your Beale show the highest rated news show on television if you'd let me have a crack at it. I'd like to program it for you, develop it. I wouldn't interfere with the actual news, but TV is showbiz, Max, and even the news has to have a little showmanship. What we need is someone who cuts through this anodyne crap we peddle as news. We need someone who reminds us who we are. I watched your 6 o'clock show today. It's straight tabloid. You had 1:30 on that lady riding a bike naked in Central Park. On the other hand, you had less than a minute of hard national and international news. It's all sex, scandal, brutal crime, sports, children with incurable diseases, and lost puppies. So I don't think I'll listen to any protestations of high standards of journalism. We're right down in the streets eliciting audiences with the rest of us. All I'm saying is, if you're gonna hustle, at least do it right.
Well, jeepers creepers, Frank. I had no idea that was in there. Why would you play that? Smooth play, Shakespeare. I meant another tape. I wanted you to play the one called Nixon Highlights, next to your left elbow. It's under the ding-dongs.
Look.
We should leave a message for Dick.
Like what?
Arlene, I think it's time you tell him how you feel.
I can't.
Well, maybe he loves you too, he just doesn't think you're interested. If you care for him at all, you'll tell him.
Okay, you just have to go first.
Hi, Mr. President. This is Betsy and Arlene. We just wanted to thank you for letting us be your special youth advisors and for letting us walk checkers and for, I don't know what else for, so here's Arlene. She has something very personal to tell you.
I love you. I know you have a lot on your mind because you're the president and all. but I can't keep my feelings inside any longer. I've never felt this way about anyone before, not even Bobby Sherman, who I completely and totally adored, but now I realize that that was just puppy love and that this is the real thing. And I realize that you're married and that we could never really be together. But I'll love you forever.
I'm gonna take you.
And there's a song by Olivia Newton-John that I think best describes the way that I feel. It goes like this. I love you. I honestly love you. You don't have to answer. I can see it in your eyes, but it's coming from my heart and not my head. Oh, and there was this time when you put your hand on my shoulder and I got this warm, tingly feeling inside, and I knew right then at that moment.
They'll be back soon. You've been on for 18 and a half minutes.
I have to go now, bye!
I can't believe you were talking that whole time. What did you say?
Stuff. Personal.
Was that the interns? What closet disco queens? I am out to lunch. I didn't even know they did that. Well, now we know what was on the missing 5 minutes of the tape. Where's the court case for those two? Well, tell those freaky deaky interns Casanova will be here in a couple of minutes. Well, Frank? He's watching. No. And now we will go live to the Oval Office where the President of the United States will address the nation on the radio and television.
Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that have shaped the history of this nation. Each time I have done so to discuss with you some matter I believe to affect the nation's interest. In all the decisions I have made in my public life, I have always tried to do what was best for the nation. Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt that it was my duty to persevere, to make every possible effort to complete the term of office which you elected me. I would have preferred to carry it through to the finish, despite the personal agony it would have involved, and my family unanimously urged me to do so. But the interest of the nation must always come before any personal considerations. America needs a full-time president and a full-time Congress, especially with the problems that we face here at home and abroad. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office. By taking these actions, I hope that I will have hastened the start of that process of healing, which is so desperately needed in America.
Jeff! Yeah, commercial. Or can you start going right now? A family comes in, at the counter, the woman's singing, chorus in the background. So Have it your way. Have it your way. Well, you know what my way is. Hot. How about a hamburger that's fucking hot? Well, don't blame me. I'm from Massachusetts. Dick, you still there, babe? Sorry about that. 10 miles from the airport. I'm really starting to lose it here. You know, Dick, in the final hours of your administration, I think it appropriate to look back at your long years of public service and conclude that as our president, you really bit the big one. Wazoo City, babe. What can I say? You know what? This cracks me up. I voted for you. I gave you my vote, my sacred democratic trust. And you know what you did with it? You pissed all over it. Yeah, I know. Oh, don't say it, Sammy. Well, you're my main man. Well, guys like you, you're the backbone of the nation, Sammy. Well, shut up, Dick. I'm talking, all right? I'm talking, and you're listening. You see the papers lately? Grandma lives in packing crate. Sewage closes Jersey beaches. Saudi Prince buys Howard Johnson's. The woods are burning, Dick. What can we do? We want to make things better. How? Let's hold an election. Great. Well, Democrat says he'll fix everything. The Republicans fucked up. The Republican says he'll fix everything. The Democrats fucked up. Who's telling the truth? Who's lying? Somebody's lying. Who? We read, we guess, we argue, but deep down we know that we don't know. How can we? We need to trust, to believe, like little kids, that someone wants what's best for us, that someone loves us. Do they? No. They lie to us. They lie to us about what's right. They lie to us about what's wrong. They lie to us about the fucking hamburgers! And when we realize it, really realize it in our gut, that's when we get scared. We get terrified. Like little children waking in the dark. We don't know where we are. I had a bad dream. Mommy, Daddy, Sammy had a nightmare. And then Daddy comes into our room and takes us into his arms and says, "It's all right, Sammy. Daddy's here. I love you, kiddo." Your mom doesn't, but I do. And then Mommy comes into our room, takes us into our arms and says, "It's okay, Bubba. I'm here for you. Your daddy isn't, but I am." And where are we? Who do we trust? Who do we believe? What do? We do the only thing we can do. We kill the president.
So let us all now join together in affirming that common commitment in helping our president succeed for the benefit of all Americans. I shall leave this office with regret of not completing my term, but the gratitude for having the privilege of serving as your president for the last 5.5 years. These years have been monumentous time in our nation's history and in the world. They have been a time of achievement in which we all can be proud. Achievements that have been represented by the shared efforts of this administration, the Congress, and the people.
How can that happen? How can the love of two people, however strong, destroy the system which organizes the entire world? Your love is the most important thing to you and you alone. To the world, your love is meaningless. It achieves nothing. It serves no purpose, and it makes no difference. The fact that you will never see Julia again does not change the world one iota. It only matters to you. all you care about is yourself. Even Big Brother you thought was watching you in particular, but Winston, your world consisted entirely of its own solipsism. Big Brother is you watching. Now, if we consider your mind, your memories, your fears, and your fantasies, and your longing to be important, to be a hero, whether by writing a diary for some distant future or by trying to change the world as a member of the Brotherhood, if we consider all these things, Winston, not one of them is about anything more or less than Winston Smith and his vain, selfish, unimportant desires. You're trapped in the center of yourself, imprisoned in your skull, and we need to let you out, Winston. Break you open and let you out into reality, beyond selfish obsessions and false memories. Reality as the rest of us see it. The reality of the party.
When I first took the oath of office as president 5.5 years ago, I made this sacred commitment to concentrate my office, my energies, and all the wisdom I could summon to the cause of peace among nations. This, more than anything else, is what I hope to achieve when I sought the presidency. This, more than anything else, is what I hope will be my legacy to you, to our country, as I leave the presidency. To have served in this office is to have felt a very personal sense of kinship with every single American. In leaving it, I do so with this prayer. May God's grace be with you in all the days to come.